Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. With one of the most stacked men's Royal Rumble matches coming up ever on February 1st, I figured it'd be an absolutely great idea to go over my top 5 Royal Rumble moments, because the Royal Rumble is guaranteed to be great this year, but also the Royal Rumble is guaranteed to have surprises and amazing moments. So let's go over my top 5 Royal Rumble moments, beginning with number 5. AJ Styles makes WWE debut as a surprise entrant on January 24th, 2016 at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. While it was revealed that AJ Styles' contract with New Japan was up in early 2016, it got this sort of the rumor mill going. Will AJ Styles come to WWE? He's the hottest free agent. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Because we know AJ Styles established himself really as a main eventer in his time with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yes, he had a great run with TNA Wrestling. That's where he became well known, along with like Samoa Joe. But perhaps what solidified him was that run in New Japan, and then executives in WWE sort of knew that he could be a star with the way he moves in the ring, his charisma, his attitude, everything about AJ Styles is phenomenal. And then Styles entered the Royal Rumble match at number 3, and fans inside the Amway Center gave him a thunderous ovation as a surprise entrant. No one actually knew. It was a great surprise. Hottest free agent in the business. Styles lasted 29 minutes in that match and secured 2 eliminations before being tossed out by the one and only Kevin Owens, who just happens to be in a ladder match with Cody Rhodes this year at this year's Royal Rumble. So crazy. But he's had a phenomenal career in WWE so far. But according to a response he made on Twitter from a fan, he's dealing with a very challenging injury. So hopefully he can get back very soon to doing the amazing things that only really AJ Styles can do in that professional wrestling ring. And then we're moving on to number 4. Number 4, we have Ric Flair wins WWE Championship at the 1992 Royal Rumble in the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York. Despite having a stellar relationship years down the line, Ric Flair and WWE never really meshed well together in the early 90s. Flair had a very short run with WWE from 1991 until 1993. And most agree that the company didn't really know what to do and how to utilize the Nature Boy to really the best of his ability. And he ended up going back to WCW upon his WWE exit. But sort of the best moment that defined his WWE run was during this period was this Royal Rumble match in 1992, the year I was born, actually. It was contested for the vacant WWE Championship. The final 2 participants were Ric Flair and Sid Vicious. With an assist from Hulk Hogan, Flair eliminated Sid to become WWE's top title holder. And then maybe the most memorable part of the night was when Ric Flair cut this memorable, unbelievable backstage promo along with Bobby the Brain Heenan that sort of solidified Flair as this superstar. I mean, he was already with all the stuff he did before he got to WWE, then he went back to WCW, and we sort of know how the Nature Boy's story turned out. But that was one of the most important moments of his career, especially that promo, and the top 4, or the 4th top Royal Rumble moment, at least in my humble opinion. Then we move on to number 3. Number 3, Shawn Michaels wins the 1995 Royal Rumble match. This happened on January 22nd, 1995 in the Sun Dome in Tampa, Florida. The ending to the 1995 Royal Rumble event treated fans to like this sort of false finish, not the sort of shitty false finishes you see now, but actually that made the fans believe that this was the end. Fans initially thought Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, who's very popular, won the match after tossing Shawn Michaels over the top rope. But the swerve, which now sort of people use all of the time, was that Michaels held onto the ropes and only one of his feet touched the floor. Then what's called skinning the cat. He skinned the cat, got back in the ring, and he became eligible for the match. Again, this means the Heartbreak Kid was still eligible because both feet did not hit the floor. That's a very important rule in the Royal Rumble. And then as the British Bulldog celebrated on the turnbuckle with his theme song blaring, and oh my God, loved it, loved it, loved it. This is what a false finish is. Michaels snuck up from behind, eliminated him from the match, and it was announced that Michaels had indeed won the 1995 Royal Rumble. This is a big moment in Royal Rumble history because now people are sort of innovating through the Shawn Michaels skinning the cat and this sort of false elimination to give fans hope that this happened and then go on to something else. So this was a really pivotal moment. That's why it's number 3 in my top 5 Royal Rumble moments. And then we move on to our final 2. And maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't, but these 2 are huge and some of my favorite moments in WWE history, not just Royal Rumble history. So we move on to number 2, John Cena's shocking return in 2008. Wow, Super Cena freaking does it again, right? Really thought to be sidelined with an injury. John Cena's surprise entrant as number 30 in 2008 really left the fans in the most famous arena in the world, Madison Square Garden, stunned. Even though he was massively sort of hated at that point, really not hated, he was just sort of polarizing. It would go, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Because he was never actually like a heel, but some people thought he got shoved down their throats. He always was winning, so sort of turned some people against John Cena. But every time he walked out of the curtain, every time he stepped in the ring, he was a polarizing, entertaining figure that drew money, and people just didn't think he was going to come back so soon from this injury, and he came back like 3 months sooner than anyone thought possible, and he got a massive ovation, a massive pop from the New York faithful before they went right back to being, let's go Cena, Cena sucks, which everyone sort of was used to at that point. But John Cena drew money. That's what John Cena has always done. He drew money. That's why, for me, he's the greatest WWE superstar of all time. It's also number 2 on my Royal Rumble top moments, John Cena's shocking return in 2008. And then maybe you guessed it, but number one is Edge's triumphant return. When I was talking about in a previous video some of these never say never moments in WWE, Edge was on it because he came out of retirement. This is the top Royal Rumble moment of all time, and it's actually one of the most recent moments because Edge comes out of retirement for the 2020 Royal Rumble on January 26, 2020 at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Right back in April 2011, following WrestleMania 27, Edge was forced to retire due to a very, very, very serious neck injury. At the time, the Rated R superstar said that if he had continued to perform inside the ring, he could potentially risk being paralyzed. So Edge was the World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and so obviously he had to relinquish the gold. And if he had retired then and never came back, everyone would have said, wow, Edge, what a legacy, what a story, what a career you built. You're one of the best to ever do it. But he didn't. He had this will to fight forward because Edge just loves professional wrestling and loves the fans and wanted to go out on his terms. So you fast forward 9 years, worked his ass off, and Edge made his shocking, triumphant return at the 2020 Royal Rumble match, and just one of the most feel-good moments in WWE history and my personal top Royal Rumble moment ever. We've now seen Edge continue to wrestle under Cope in AEW. Amazing that he's healthy, still doing the things that he loves, and he is the number 1 Royal Rumble moment in history. So to recap, we had number 5, AJ Styles makes WWE debut. Number 4, Ric Flair wins WWE Championship. Number 2, Shawn Michaels wins 1995 Royal Rumble match. 2, John Cena's shocking return. And number 1, Edge's triumphant return. And so those are my top 5 Royal Rumble moments as we get prepped for one of the biggest Royal Rumble matches of all time. Let me know what you think. Disagree, agree, other things that were amazing in Royal Rumble, history. Comment below. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe this video. I'd love to hear from you. But other than that, I'll see you next time, and lots of love. Cheers.